Namaste, namaskaram, vanakkam, namo namaha. Jai Ganesha. Please visit our website at classicalyoga.org, and there is a donate button if you would like to help us out. Today's podcast. I am a God, but not a God. I am an atheist, and not a theist, but I am a theist. What? The pause is everything. Context is everything. You may find our other podcasts to be very illuminating on these matters. The one true God, do Hindus believe in God? Your concept of God, GOD as an acronym, and DOG as an acronym, monotheistic propaganda. And finally, the one on the silent service. So, it's important that we strive to the best of our ability to understand the words that we say. So this Anglo-Saxon word God with a capital G goes back to the 5th century when Christians capitalized the Anglo-Saxon God to remind, quote-unquote, everyone that there's only one true God, the one male creator being noun, the biblical God. Small God did exist in the Anglo-Saxon tradition and refers to the vast deities within the Anglo-Saxon tradition, such as Woden, Thor, and Frigg, for example. And don't think these are not influencing Western culture, because it is from Woden that we get Wednesday, and Thursday was Thor's Day. It's respectful to remember that capital G-O-D, God, is a Christian term, and it refers to their understanding of the one male creator being. To make it anything else is to really do a disservice to the Christians. And of course, if one does not believe in this one male creator being, God, then they should simply not be using this word. It should never be used as a catch-all or a superficial term, which actually insults the Christians and actually is very insulting to non-Christians who mistakenly use this word God. Therefore, as a Hindu, I am aGod, meaning against or stating the fact that there is no provable one male creator being, which I do not believe in. But I am not a God. In the same vein, I am not a one male creator being. Many times Hindus and others will say that God dwells within them, but is that true? Does the one male creator being reside within you? This is a mistake that you can clearly see in today's presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy, who not only says God is real, but says God is within everyone, which is a total lack of discrimination, the meaning of the word Vivek, of the word God itself. And as far as God being within everyone, Christians would not accept this. Therefore, again, as a non-Christian, it is perfectly valid to say that you are a God. You are against this understanding that they put forth that there is a one male creator being, because it's not provable. Now, if someone has an experience within themselves, that's another story, but there is no provable one male creator being. And certainly then, we are not a God in any shape or form. However, one could make the case that, well, if God is a one male creator being, yes, then all men can say, well, yes, they are gods in the sense that they are creator beings. But Christians certainly do not mean that. Their reference to God is the one male creator being that created all things, we as men create lots of things, but we don't create all things. So capital G-O-D, God, is what it is and to be respected. Now, as an acronym, G-O-D, it becomes a grand old delusion. This obsession with trying to prove there is a one male. And remember, there's goddess, creator being. And it's worthy to ponder that the word capital, capital G-O-D, capital is also about a state capital or politics, and it's about money. Interesting. So certainly as Hindus, leave the word God to the Christians, just as they leave alone our words. They never will say Shiva bless you, or certainly not Kali or Durga bless you. This is simply and profoundly respecting words and their meanings. Never forget, Rishi Kalidasa said, Vagarta vihiva samprikta, words and their meanings are ever united like a marriage. And the Saiva Hindu Guru Patanjali, who wrote the Yoga Sutras, which, ironically, have been totally distorted, totally misrepresented. Some of you may not realize it, but the word yoga actually has nothing to do with your physical body at all. You can listen to our podcast as we explore this total misuse. So this Saiva Hindu Guru Patanjali said, Sabdayananupati vastu sunyo vikalpaha. Delusion vikalpa arises anupati when we take word knowledge, sabdayana, devoid sunyo of facts, vastu. And sunyo is also zero. Remember, it was Hindus that came up with the all-important zero for calculations, without which there'd be no binary system, there'd be no AI. Now let's look at the Greek word theos and say, I am an atheist and not a theist, but I am a theist. Again, the pause is everything, and in the last one, context. So theos, the Greek word, was really used for the multitude of deities within the Greek tradition, which had tremendous influence, especially in Western culture and in famous literature, the Iliad, the Odyssey, the deities of Aphrodite and Dionysus and Adonis, Hercules, Athena, Hermes, stories of the Trojan horse, etc. So these theos have an important part in world history. But typically, when the word theos is used, it is referring to this one male creator being. And when one says they are a theist, it means that they do believe in this one male creator being. Therefore, those who do not are truly atheists or against this notion of a one male creator being. Hence, one could say, who does not believe in this God, that they are truly an atheist. And also that they are not a theist, meaning they do not believe in any one God that created all things, and certainly not the Christian notion of the one God. But one could also say that they are a theist in the sense that they do respect the contribution of these many Greek deities throughout history. And often when one says that they are an atheist, they mean that they not only don't believe in the Christian or monotheistic God, they don't believe in any spirit beings. So to that understanding, one who does believe in multiple spiritual beings, they could truly say that they are a theist. And personally, as one who does believe in, through personal experience, various spirit beings, and just stop and consider for a moment, they will all have dreams. So those are spirit beings without bodies that one is seeing and feeling and perceiving in those dreams. However, one has to be careful with this word theist and really nuance it so that one does not become misunderstood. So by saying, for example, that one is an atheist, It does not mean, if they're a non-Christian, that they do not believe in spirit beings. This is where we need to be much more precise with our language. So as Hindus, we believe in spirit beings that we call devas. Remember, this is the Sanskrit language that's used. Devas means shining ones, the shining inner beings. And many Hindus have intimate inner connections with those spirit beings called devas. Just as people throughout the world have intimate inner experiences of, again, we're using English to convey this, of what they perceive to be spirit beings or whatever the terminology that they use. And any intimate experience like that is just that and to be respected. The problem comes in when we try to make these invisible spirit beings to others requisite knowledge for everyone. That's where the problem of fanaticism comes in, sectarianism, fundamentalism, which is obviously to be avoided.
I'm sure most of you are familiar with the late Christopher Hitchens, who was totally anti-religion. In fact, he wrote among his many works that religion poisons everything. Is that not an extremist point of view? Consider for a moment that he often states that either all religions are true, or they are all false, or only one is true. Think about that for a moment. So therefore, he's basically saying that all religions are false, therefore, it is his views that are the right views. Is this not typical of the fundamentalist mindset? So let's look at those three statements, and couch it in this way. Either all human endeavors are true, or all human endeavors are false, or there is only one human endeavor. So with that, we can clearly see the problem. All of these things that we humans create, and religions are created by humans, we have to admit that. And there's some truth and some falsehood in every single thing that humans create. As we postulate, make assumptions, hypotheses, have beliefs, have faith in certain things, and then through time and testing, we figure out that those things may be true, they may be false, there may be revamping. This is just what we humans do. But to make the very extremist statement that all human endeavors are false, wow. Of course, Mr. Hitchens was making the very valid point that any religion that does claim to be the one and only true one, this is obviously false, and has not only brought many people together to do much good, has also brought many people together to do tremendous evil throughout history. This is really the basic position of the atheist. And this is where we as compassionate and mature human beings need to confront each other. Ask, what are our beliefs? Are they logical? Are they illogical? Do they make sense? Are they true? Are they false? This is human debate, human dialogue. Because again, we humans have done much good and much evil, and everything in between. We're all in this together, and it certainly makes a lot of sense to seek some common ground, and also respect the differences, and avoid the extremes, extremist fundamentalist mindsets that can permeate many human endeavors. So in these religious discussions, for example, there may come a time when we just have to keep our mouth shut. Now, in the Hindu yoga religion, for example, which is a religion, it's not the only one, of course. It's not a universal one. It's not for everybody. We often say, Maunavakya para Brahman. Brahman is a word that Hindus use for the greater forces that exist within life, the forces of energy, light, heat. Hindus see this as the inner essence of life itself. Some may call this the soul. We, as Hindus, call it the Atmana, which literally means not the mind, That's very interesting to contemplate. So we, in a sense, go ethically out of our mind to experience the pure inner essence of pure energy and pure light and heat, which translates into the human experience of warmth or love. And these are commonalities that we do all share. And then respect the specific language that we use to describe them. So this is what Hindus mean when they use the word Brahman. It's not an anthropomorphic deity, though there are obviously anthropomorphic spirit beings in the spirit world, if you will, and obviously in the material world. This understanding of an inner essence of love, light, and energy, which we also share with our fellow mammals and primates, this could go a long way to helping to heal humanity. And these are inner experiences that one can have regardless of the religion they belong to, if any. And we also share, as humans, that inner silence. This is the meaning of Mauna Vakya. Hindus are saying that the supreme understanding is found in silent speech, an oxymoron. Just knowing when to keep our mouth shut, just be quiet. And don't we all do this every night? Hopefully we go into that quiet, no-thingness in deep sleep. So nature's trying to tell us something, that there's a time to just chill out, if you will. Enter into that no-thingness and just be quiet. Then life starts to make sense. Is this not the binary system, which is 0 and 1? Respecting the 0, the no-thingness, and then coming out of that into the everythingness. That's always tainted with good and bad, if you will. Or rather than tainted with a negative connotation, simply painted. This is the painting that is life, the diversity, the natural duality that is life itself, from the 0 to the manyness. So we could say from 0 to many is closer to reality. Hence the Sanskrit, Tamil, Hindu neuter term, Brahman, for the Big Bang, you see. So from 0 to many, back to 0. If we look at creation itself, in order to have creation, you must also have the no-thingness, the black hole, the black holes of the universe, which absorb. And then obviously there is a subtle energy in there that creates again. And again, do we not go there every night when we go into the deep sleep and out of our mind, if you will? And something's going on because we do wake up. There'll come a time when we don't, but what will continue on is the pure energy and the heat, the light. So here we can see an intelligent design of the universe, if you will. If you look at the spiraling galaxies, so you have the spiral, and in order to have the true spiral, you must have the 0 in the center, if you will, the black hole. We can follow that down into the most powerful forces of nature in the true hurricane, the eye of the hurricane, the tornado, the whirlpool, the breaking wave, where surfers love to get into that 0 space in the middle, the tube, if you will. At the bottom of the ocean, we have the conch shell. Same spiral as the spiraling galaxies, with a hole in the middle. In fact, in some cultures, the Hawaiian culture, for example, and certainly in Hinduism, we actually blow the conch shell to create that primal sound. It is said that sound is the first emanation of creation. This is why Hindus chant the primal sound Om, the Ah, U, or Om sound, that one can actually feel in their body, symbolically representing, harmonizing our three natures, our animal, human, and divine or soulful or Atma Darshana, the soul nature within, Ah, U, respectively, animal, human, divine. And then the fourth stage is the Turiya or 0 or no thing state, the silence in between the chant, the silence in between the breath. This black hole. Look into the eyes of your fellow human beings and your animals, friends. We all have one, don't we? There's a black hole right there. And it's there that we unify. That's the inner silence. So in any human encounter, we can unify by just keeping our mouth shut. So if we look into the black hole, where we unify. Now it's called the pupil, interestingly. So at that level, why not just keep our mouth shut? And Hindus would say, Om Tat Sat, that thou art. The no-thingness, which becomes the everythingness. Now, by definition, that pupil is the aperture that admits and regulates the flow of light, blossoming out into the unique flowering colors of the iris. Eye identification. No two eyes are alike, like no two fingerprints. This is the rich, multitudinous nature of life, the diversity that comes out of the no-thingness, the Big Bang of creation. Back again. The binary system. 0 to 1 to 0 to 1 to 0 to 1. So why not just leave it at that? Realize and enjoy the unifying silence. And out of that, enjoy the dance of diversity. We're only here for a few short years, actually. Putting life into perspective. We're one of 8 billion people. We're one tiny little planet. So we take life seriously, but not too seriously. So enjoy. Understand the pause and respect the silence.